welcome to Conversations with Vonnie. Today I'm going to give you a tour of our garden to share with you the extreme heat that we experienced in Arizona, and you possibly have experienced it as well if you live in the Southwest area and also different parts of the U.S. And so I'm going to show you our garden to let you see what we experienced and how our plants and everything did and what actually survived. And now we're on the healing side of it, where we're actually trying to look at what we want to plant for this fall season, and very thankful for anything that survived from the heat. But it's definitely it was different. It was totally different because some of our plants did not make it, and traditionally they had kind of made it through the summer, but because of the extreme heat, we had to adjust our water, different settings, and try to also see if there was more shade available to assist during that weather. And so please share your tips as well. But you're going to see a tour of our garden, you're going to see the condition of our garden, and then we're going to share with you in the next couple videos of what we're going to do, what we planted, and what's actually starting to, bloom, or it's showing like signs of growth, and then what items actually in our garden survived and still there's some signs of like life, like because it's starting to like rejuvenate and it didn't allow the heat to truly just destroy it. So hopefully you like this video. If you do, please like, subscribe, share, and please share your comments. So thank you for watching Conversation with Vonnie. Hello and welcome to Conversations with Vonnie. I live in Laveen, Arizona, and it has been an extreme heat all summer long. And so I'm going to show you what is still living and what is no longer doing well in our garden. I'm sure all of you have experienced similar things, so we can share our tips of what's going well and what is not going so well. All right, so let's go ahead and start it out. So here, if you remember, this is where I had started my pineapple, and then I ended up planting a cucumber, and you can see did not survive. However, this is a moringa tree, a plant that is growing, and it is doing well. All right, I'm going to tell you more about the moringa at the end of the video. This is my celery. Did not survive, you see. Gonna have to cut that back. This is my thyme. I had some, I think, lemon thyme, and I think even some oregano in there. Some of it's still holding on, but you can see a lot of it just died. My wonderful apple tree, you can see here, it is still growing strong. I think it's found its place. When I first started my garden, this had some corn, we've done onions, but look at that branch, look at that stalk. I am so thankful. We had over, I think, 80 apples, and so thankful it's hanging on. And so you can see that beautiful color of the branches. It is hanging on, so I'm so thankful. Let's come over here. I did harvest some onions, and I'll have to show you that later. But look, we planted a moringa here, and it is doing well. So we're going to have some moringa. This is my artichoke. I did have a good harvest, and I left 2, like I normally tell you guys to do, because it'll reseed. But just see how the sun has just like, whew, it's torn it up. And my Swiss chard, look at this. It's hanging on, but man, it took a beating. And look here, this is moringa. Over here where I have, this is normally where my collards are and my kale, you see, didn't really make it. This looks like it's a little bit, there's some promise there. That's another moringa. These are my peppers. And then I tell you, look at that mint. Mint's like a weed, it just grows. It is hanging on. Over here, I was trying to do, I believe I was trying to do arugula, and I was also trying to do some other type of tomatoes, like yellow tomatoes. You can see here, uh-oh, It broke. But like some yellow tomatoes, and it didn't survive. And definitely my spinach did not survive. We can see that did not survive. Now, this is interesting because this is an actual asparagus, and I've been trying to grow this. You see how big this is? I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna have to find a way to try to get that to, I don't know. I mean, if you have tips on asparagus, but look at how it's growing. No fruit yet, but it's growing. This was our eggplant, and it did harvest quite a few eggplants for us, but you see, look at the sun. And look at my tomatoes. It took a beating too. Look at that. Red bell pepper and spicy bell pepper. One is hanging on. I think the bird got to that one. But you can see the winner is the rosemary. So we're going to try to transplant some of that throughout our garden. My greens over here didn't survive. My plum tree is doing pretty good. And my husband, we were able to harvest quite a few. However, you can see though, with those leaves, that we got to get it more water. But otherwise, this might be a good place for it. But this rosemary, that is the winner. It has survived, and we're going to try to transplant it so we can, have that grow throughout our yard and even do some inside the house. My peppers didn't survive over here. And let's see over here. This was more tomatoes. Didn't really survive as well there. Okay, we're going to come back around. And you can see we're trying to do some cleanup in the yard as well. Because you got to create your own little ecosystems. And you can see over here, we were doing some transplants, trying to do our own seeding here. And this, I'm trying to figure out what I planted here. I'm going to have to keep you posted, but it's looking pretty strong. I don't remember exactly. But you see my little cabbage here. Look at that. And I believe these were some carrots. I'll have to go and see how they're doing. But otherwise, everything else in this little area did not survive. My cilantro, parsley, no. And then we did have a harvest of the grapes, but you can see how the grape tree vine has grown, but we got to really work on our watering. But you can see how it's really starting to develop, and we're trying to create more shade with this tree because that ecosystem is so important to the success of your garden. Now let's go look at these other two pots over here. I'll keep you posted on how everything is going, but you can even see some of our plants in our yard. They're struggling. Some are doing well, but we're in the desert, right? Hibiscus, this one's holding on. You can see the vines of the grapes there. But look at here. This Swiss chard is still hanging on. And then moringa, look at that. I mean, we're going to have some moringa. But over here, this whole pot did not take. And I think I had some Chinese Napa cabbage, I think, over there. So we have our pomegranate tree, which is still hanging on. My husband's shaping it so that it has a nice shape and that it can really produce a nice size of the pomegranates. Water, 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 shade, shade, shade. We have our moringa trees here, our little plants. Look at that, growing really well, if I can talk, really well. And you can see in the front of our house, that tree was so pretty, but the sun, look at that, just fried those leaves, okay? Fried them. And this hibiscus did not make it. Very sad. Even look at my roses. Remember my pretty pictures of my roses? The heat is brutal. This beautiful, it's gonna like a purple tree when it blooms, hanging on. This hibiscus is hanging on. And this one looks like it's hanging on. But that one truly did lose. This plant, my husband planted for me. I don't remember the name, but look, it's not doing so well. We have a couple moringas that we planted in the front. Look at that, hanging on. Roses, got a little fried there. Some natural Arizona nature type plants. I think that's like, I don't know, I gotta think about what plant this is, but it does well in Arizona. And here's another moringa. And then I still have my aloe right there. So thank you for watching today, and hopefully you got a chance to see what the extreme heat did to our garden. And I am thankful because quite a bit of our garden actually did survive. However, we learned a lot as far as like with the increasing the water, but then also making sure that we continue to have like shading for our plants. And you can see over my balcony there, we're really trying to work on creating more of like an ecosystem for like creating like natural shade for various aspects of our garden, and really nurture the different plants that we have, because we've been blessed. It's like our 8th year with our garden. 1 minute, little mama. We're painting nails today. And so ultimately I am very thankful. I learned a lot. I'm a fairly new gardener, but I really do appreciate that God still blessed us to have some of our vegetables and our fruits and our plants that were able to hang on during the heat. And so that water and the soil and the shade, along with the summer heat, did help to protect some of our garden. And so we will share with you what we're going to plant for our fall season, because it's actually fall. Yes. Thank you for watching Conversations with Bonnie. Hopefully my tour of my garden and what we experienced this summer gave you some information and helped you to figure out, how you can try to help your garden to still thrive, and and be thankful for all things, because we learn something through every season. So blessings to you. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like this video.